All right. Testing. Everything should be working. We are going to begin. Where is my Discord chat thing? Hello? I am in a Discord chat. I know I am. If I rejoin it, it just doesn't want to load up.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello?
welcome. We're live. We're live, by the way.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
I don't know why the overlay is not showing on the stream. It's on the scene. I see it with my eyeballs. Let me go to the website.
Twitch.tv/Wolfborg with 2Gs.
Yep, sometimes. Oh, I have to authorize? Why do I have to authorize it again? What happened?
All I see is pre-show.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to fix. There we go. Okay, I see it on the website. I don't know when it's going to apply on the thing.
Never. We're free.
I have to log in on Discord. Authorize. Okay, I have authorized it. Group? Drag and drop the links below. Oh, so they changed it a bit. Drag and drop links below into OBS and add them as browser source. Okay, so these are different now. I can just drag and drop this? Oh my god, you can. Oh, where did it go? I dragged and dropped. And I don't see it. Hello? I said, hey, show the group. And then it said, no, that's cringe. That's what I said. The hell is the problem? I have to get rid of this one? That wouldn't stop this one from working. It works when I go into individual browser. The browser view is not working in OBS. And I don't understand why. Well, I got time to figure it out, I guess. Since apparently people are late tonight. Oh boy. Let me make sure I got the streams. Okay, Twitch is up. Is the YouTube up? That's, I think, the most important here. I go to live? How come I can't go to live? Where's my live streams? Go live. Here we go. Also, I can show my camera while I try to fix this. Oh, where's my light? There we go. There's my light. And I look very slightly better. Not much, but I'll take it. Okay. We are, in fact, live. Now, the question is, why does this service that I very clearly see is working, is not working? Is there a reason for this? Okay, it just didn't. Oh, okay, there we go. I got it to show, but they have screwed up other things, and now the text for the names is very big. Name size. Who decided 58 pixels was the size for it? Who decided that?
I did.
Why would you want that? Who hurt you?
I think it's a funny number.
58?
Like you got like a 5 and an 8, like you got
I
an
see the
odd number,
numbers.
and then it's an even number, like it's, it's kind of interesting.
Wow.
Like you'd think it'd be 60, a flat, divisible by 10 number, but no, gotta spice things up a little bit.
Oh my god. Oh, they give you choices for the names. Now you can do server nickname, global nickname, or global username. I see. So people are fucking around with their server nicknames. I can set a global nickname. Well, now what do I do with my fucking... My name is, like, breaking off. Why did...
Wolf.
Org. 30? Do I make it smaller? I mean, that's pretty small. I also don't need the images to be this big. Let me lower this a bit. What did I usually have it at before? Also, it won't let me adjust the size. Oh, there we go. Why is this? Okay. Bro, where is everybody? Turindo's not going to be here. Anne's going to be a bit late for the stream snacks, I guess. Where the fuck is Shadow?
They read the chapters and were like, I ain't talking about this shit.
Listen, those
I got
extra
better things to do.
those extra chapters, Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Welcome, Shadow.
Hi, Shadow.
Did you change your name to Shonen Hater? Jesus Christ.
Okay,
I
mean, you can set to whatever.
Listen, I am on my shonen hating arc because of Familiar Zero. I'm on my seinen loving arc because of Witch Hat.
Okay.
I still don't understand why Witch Hat is a seinen and not josei, but whatever.
Just the magazines published in.
Yeah.
And seinen can be pretty broad with its stuff, I guess, but I don't know. Where the fuck is... Am I just stuck with this? Either I change my nickname on Discord or fucking I make it very small. Is that what I have to do here for this? This is bullshit. This is what I get for trying to include my names, okay? This is bullshit. If I make it too small, it looks like dog shit for everybody. 30, 31. Okay, 31 is, I think, the biggest I can make it without it breaking off. I think. Welcome. Okay, actually, did I have the... I don't think I had the images this big before. I think I had it smaller.
People need to stop messaging me things.
Tell them I said hi. Okay, I guess this is good. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Hey, can this fucking Discord group display service thing stop fucking around with itself every week?
No.
Like that 2 weeks ago where I just couldn't get it to work. And that was fucking annoying. Can we stop messing around with my shit? Thanks. Or make it so that I can download this as a program I can run.
We're forever trolling you.
I believe it. You know, I don't have any doubt in my mind about that, but I just, you know. What is the image alignment? It's got a button to center the images. And it actually works now. Oh my god. Alright, what do you got for a stream snack?
Okay, for a stream snack today, I have some chicken noodle soup.
That's not a snack.
No,
Next
today is
item.
really...
Yes, it is.
Today is really more of a stream meal, I'm gonna be honest.
Base.
Base?
This is my dinner. I have a bowl of chicken, like I think it's Chunky's chicken noodle soup is like the brand. It's just a can of soup. I have 2 pieces of buttered toast to dip into it. I have an apple cut up with some peanut butter, and then I have some Reese's peanut butter and chocolate dipped pretzels for dessert.
Ooh.
And also water. Drink water, guys.
Yes, drink water, please.
Water's good for health.
It's good.
I think.
I got water next to me. I got my water. Okay.
Bruh, I hate that straight line at the top. But anyway,
You got...
there's your meme.
You hate what?
We have a meme.
Oh, did you post
Honestly,
something? Hold
meme.
on. Let me finish writing up my stuff, and then we can do this.
Many thanks.
That face. The face has just got much more moe these chapters. but it's like the Clannad moe, not Clan, well, the key in general moe, where it's just like the eyes are dripping off the face.
I did not read the light novel chapters for this go around.
Good.
Oh no. Whatever will we do?
Damn.
I feel like that's like half of what I say is just light novel comparisons.
I mean,
All my
it's
content
good.
is one.
I don't know how I wrote the tweet for these before, so I'm just gonna write it like this. Where's my image? Oh my god. There we go. Zero's familiar. There we go. Not familiar of Zero. Zero's familiar. Now let me turn this off. Sound alerts are not on the stream. They are for Discord, but let's see. Okay. It's a little sus. Won't lie. Where's the mulch?
I don't know, chap. Well, sus.
Okay.
Means we have Foster among us.
Walt, don't lie to me. Okay. All right. Are we ready, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, is Turno not showing up today?
Turndo
No, he's
is
sick.
feeling a little sick, so he's not gonna be here.
Okay.
Rose got the fucking COVID.
We'll probably be in chat though. Maybe. We'll see.
I have Twitch pulled up. I don't have YouTube pulled up.
I have
I got
all
you
of them
pulled
pulled
up.
up, okay? Because I'm just that good. We're here
can
on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Don't worry. I'm definitely watching the Kick chat and not assuming that nobody's there. Don't worry. That's 100% happening. Okay. All right. I'm going to turn off the pre-show memes and we're going to officially begin. All right, welcome once again, everybody, to another exciting week of the Anime Book Club here on youtube.com/Wolfborg. Sometimes with 1G, sometimes with 2G. I don't remember how it works with YouTube. But I know on Twitch, it's with 2Gs, and I think on Kick, it's with 1G, okay? Some places, it's 1. Others, it's 2. You figure it out, okay? So, this week we are talking about Familiar of Zero Volumes 5 and 6. We are almost at the end. Next week we'll be done with Familiar of Zero. But before we get to the finale, let's discuss what happened with these two volumes, especially what the fuck all this shit was in the second volume, I think. But before we get onto that, let's very quickly go over who we got for chatters this week. So first of all, we have Arimia. Introduce yourself.
Hi. I like shonen shit, but
Is
not
that-
shonen harem shit.
Are you sure you like Shonen? I remember right before the stream started, your name was Shonen Hater.
No.
It was
no,
Shonen
that's fake
Hater.
news.
Oh,
I think it
No.
was.
Wait,
I
hold
think
on,
it's even
hold on.
in the
That's fake
VOD. If you
news.
go
That's
to the
not true.
pre-show,
You should
Right.
read which had to
Hard
tell you.
for
Please read
today.
it's please read Seinen. It's good, please.
so read Seinen or Good Shonen. Which is it?
Yes.
Are you saying to read Which Hat Atelier? Is that what you're saying instead of
Yes.
this? Okay.
Oh, you
Based.
told us to read Familiar Zero? Okay, got it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Understandable,
All right.
Ari.
My words twisted.
It's over. It's over. This is what
This
you
is
get for being a.
slightly
This is what you get
bent.
for being a hater. Okay. Have you tried just enjoying media unquestioningly?
Consume product.
Speaking of enjoying media, that's what I do. I am Chaplain, aka Wolfborg. As you can see by my name on here, that is not broken into 2 lines like this fucking program tried to do, okay? So, I do my usual stuff on here. Occasionally, I make videos. Sometimes. Not always. I did a video recently about Spooktober visual novels. You can go watch that if you're interested. I think it came out really well, and I really liked the games that are in it. So go check that out, and go check those out. And all my opinions are objectively correct. That's just how it works. That's just a fact. Look it up. It's science. And next up, we have Nyan Bacon. Introduce yourself.
Heyo, I'm Andy or Nyan. All pronouns are acceptable, and unlike Chap, all of my opinions about Zero's Familiar specifically are correct. If you want to
Okay.
consume any of my content, hopefully some fan art, I don't know, you can check out my Twitter at, I think it's the Nyan bacon. I don't know. You'll have to find me. I also link stuff in Chap's Discord sometimes, like I did this week. Hope you guys are drinking your fucking water.
I always am. Always. All the water. And next up, we have Shadowman V4. Introduce yourself.
Hello. I make videos on YouTube sometimes.
Sometimes.
I also sometimes play Yu-Gi-Oh! Here's the mat I won last weekend.
Oh my god, we won a mat. What's the mat?
Nice.
Oh my god.
Elden Ring, the Gorn Lead. That's definitely his name.
Oh my
Damn.
god. Wow.
Oh.
Okay, and then...
Actually, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then normally we would also have Turando here for Familiar Zero, but Turando messaged us beforehand to tell us he's a little sick. He may or may not show up in the chat. I don't know, but he won't be around this week. Hopefully he'll be around next week when we do the finale and the quiz. So, let's begin with this week. How are we feeling with volumes 5 and 6 of Familiar of Zero? Don't everybody jump all up at once. I will... Okay, what do you got?
Interesting.
Interesting?
I'm actually I'm actually having to like go back and look at what it was because like the total dissonance.
Well,
I know.
Because like
we have a
stopped-
shift now. I could definitely feel it.
Now we're shifting into the harem after we
Yes.
had like a murder, an attempted murder plot. Like
He did. He succeeded. He
He
murdered.
did. He
no,
assassinated.
but no, he murder and attempted murder is what I'm saying.
Okay, there we go.
Like I don't understand what happened there. Like that's a whole nother thing we'll talk about when we get further in depth. But like then the tonal dissonance to going back to, oh no, actually we are a harem. And also Saito does want to go home. Okay.
It has been mentioned a little bit throughout.
Let me
Once.
we
Twice.
it was mentioned, but like the only times I really remember mentioned was a one-off like comment towards the very beginning of the series, and then like later on when he's like, well, if Louise gets married, what the fuck am I doing here, pretty much. But I mean,
They very much felt
Basically.
like afterthoughts, more of like, oh well, I guess I should like try to go home, or, maybe that'd be nice.
what I thought was funny was like he brings it up now, and then also he's like, I bet my parents are worried about me. Like finally, like that would probably be the first thing that goes through my head. Not even just like, oh, I'm kind of stuck here. It'd also be like, man, they probably think I'm dead or kidnapped or something in the real world. I wonder what the fuck they think happened to me. He's been gone for a few months, he said. So
Yeah, like the night that happens, you should be lying in bed having an existential crisis,
right.
What are we talking about?
He was too focused on how uncomfortable his hay mat was.
True. All right, so
Based.
let me just paint us a picture of where we started off with Volume 5. We started off with the next day after the big party, the final party before the Albion army was going to basically fight in a battle that they were going to lose. And where we opened up immediately to Saito getting a new power out of nowhere. Felt kind of like that Code Geass moment where he's just like, oh, that's a new thing I didn't know could happen. Where he's just suddenly, one of his eyes changes color, and he's seeing things through Louise's eyes. And he's seeing her get married.
Time you've mentioned Code Geass.
Well, I don't remember. Well, the last time I mentioned it
much better
before
than
was
familiar,
probably...
so.
I'm trying to remember what I mentioned Code Geass in context to here, because it was probably more towards
remember.
because I know
Yeah,
I know I mentioned it in terms of other
I
calls
know
we
you
had.
mentioned it.
I know I mentioned to you guys off stream about comparing it to Attack on Titan and stuff like that. But if I mentioned Code Geass, it probably had to deal with the politics stuff and how I felt like it was trying to do a lot of cool politics stuff in Code Geass, and here it's trying to do some politics stuff, and I wanted it to kind of focus in more on that instead of just using it as a vehicle to show how wimpy Saito was in the last, because the last week's volume was just all about Saito being a wimpy bitch despite the secret mission they're going on. And the big bad was like, yeah, you're a fucking loser. I'm going to steal your girl. Get fucked. And I mean,
plus L plus ratio.
And then we open up with Volume 5 with him just watching her about to get married, and like she's thinking to herself like, I don't know if I want to though. I want to be with Saito or whatever. But like she's still kind of hesitant about just outright canceling the wedding or whatever. So Saito knows what's going on. This is like a sudden ability he's discovered. Durfling's like, oh yeah, that's a thing you can do, I guess. And I think they figured out.
Sure.
They also had figured out Durfling can block certain magical abilities.
Not yet. It's not until the fight with wards in the church.
Okay, well, they do discover that was what happened in the prior fight where, like, Durfling basically just blocked the lightning cloud thing in the past, and they basically did the same thing later on. So we're having these abilities show up out of nowhere. The wedding with wards is being... Prince Wales was doing the wedding for them. I don't know what you officially call that. That position that he was doing.
He was like officiating the wedding.
Officiating,
I think that's literally what it's called.
That sounds about right. Thank you. So he's officiating. That was Prince Wales, right? That wasn't a different character, right? I'm not going crazy here. Okay,
that was indeed him.
All right, so Prince Wales is officiating the marriage, which made me think for a second that he's in on some weird plot with Wards, and then the fight happens. But before the fight, Wards is just fucking Wards just fucking murders Prince Wales, just murders him instantly with his wand. I'm like, holy shit! But like,
he doesn't do it with magic. He stabs him with his wand.
He stabs him with the wand. Is what it looks like.
No, he uses a wind icicle.
So
later, so if you look at the fight scenes later in the manga, there's a point where it talks about how like the wind icicle that he's using is too close to the wand for Durflinger to be able to like block or absorb it when he's fighting the multiple wards. So he was using that spell to kill Prince Wales.
Okay. So Louise,
it's very subtle.
Louise is just like hesitant about the wedding. And then she's like, you know, Wales can obviously tell that she probably doesn't want to go through with it. And then Louise is just like, you know what? Actually, I'm never gonna marry you, Wards. I fuck this shit. I'm out. Fuck this. I don't like you like that anymore. And he's like, well, if that's the case, how about I just do a little murder and explain my plan and how I fumbled the bag several times. He
starts monologuing.
You sly dog, you've got me monologuing.
He's just like, I had 3 objectives on my mission. One was to kill Wales.
Kill the Prince of Wales. Marry her.
Yep.
And
he wanted to win her heart to use her power. So he basically wanted to use her.
Get the letter.
And then steal the letter. Huh?
Yeah, and steal the letter, yeah. But, so, as soon as she's like, I'm calling the wedding off, he's like, okay, I'll just kill you instead, even though, I think he was gonna kill her, but even though he was like, one of my main objectives was to marry you, it's like, what?
I was confused. I was like, does he have some method to extract her power? It sounded more like he just wanted her to naturally fall in love with him, and then just like use her powers by like just being married to her and like convincing her to want to take over the world with him. And I'm like, how did you ever think that was gonna work here? I don't know, but whatever.
It's also really never going to work when you murder people. Like, when you just immediately decide to go murder people afterwards.
And he also didn't give a shit about making sure he had the letter before he started this? Or did Louise steal the letter from him? Because it seemed like he never had the letter.
No, she kept it in her pocket. He never had it in the first place.
Right. So
I don't know why he included that in like his accomplished objectives. Because he never accomplished it either.
Maybe he's just like, listen, once I kill you, I can find a letter. That's not going to be too hard. Which, by the way, was it really vital that we bring the letter back to Henrietta? Was it really vital? Couldn't we just have destroyed it?
Yes.
Sounds like that would have been easier. I understand Henrietta probably wanted it for sentimental value, but bitch, we have a war going on. People are dying. So
Your cousin is dead. Okay, there's another thing. That's another thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
They're cousins, but yet the Prince of Wales sounded like he wanted to marry Henrietta.
Oh, they were in love.
Listen.
The letter.
It was a different time, Miko. You know what I'm saying?
The letter that Henrietta had Louise retrieve from Wales was a love letter that she had written to Wales, essentially confessing her feelings to him.
That's what I thought. Okay. Okay.
And she needed to get it back so that the Germanian people wouldn't figure out that she had feelings for her cousin and wouldn't call.
That's why.
But the Germanians are the barbarians.
Yeah, they're the barbarians.
True. Listen, this is some Game of Thrones type shit, okay? You don't want to expose your fucking incest tendencies, so I mean.
Oh my lord.
Especially to the barbarians. Yeah.
So. So it's
anyone else would been fine. We don't have to worry about it.
I also thought, and I don't know if this is just me, because Ward's revealing he was a traitor, and then we had Fouquet like previously revealing that she was a traitor. I'm just like assuming some characters are eventually going to also be traitors, and so when they get to Henrietta, I thought for a second, I was like, she was in on that plan somehow, was why I initially. I don't know if that's actually true, but I'm looking at like how they go to her and explain that, like, you know, like, okay, Ward's was actually a traitor. Also, the prince is dead. Here's the letter. And I understand she kept saying that she was very sad about it. I feel like it was very quick before she's like, all right, moving on, you know, like, but I don't know. Maybe that was just the pacing of the manga or something like that. But I had in my moment a doubt in my head, but I don't really know if that's really, something that I would definitely say is happening. I don't know, parts of where we're at now with the manga, especially, you know, leaving that whole betrayal plot, it makes me doubt other characters now.
She has to get over her feelings for Wales so that she can fall in love with Saito.
True. We gotta marry him instead of the alliance, okay? We don't need the alliance.
God damn it. I should have known. Oh,
also, fucking Saito in these volumes has been a lot more funnier to me than he was before. Before I thought at times like, okay, Keishi's got like a funny face, but I don't really know if I thought he was a funny character. He was fucking funny in these volumes for me. He's like thinking to himself like, well, that ring I technically got after Wales died. Yeah, so he you know, he's told me to give it to you. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Like, and like some other scenes later on, once we shift away from all that drama stuff to the like harem stuff, where some of his reactions to things were just, I thought, really funny. I didn't screen cap them as much as I should have, because I did enjoy a lot of like his reactions to things and how it was portrayed in the art. But yeah, I just thought he was a lot funnier in these chapters. But maybe that's also just because these chapters were more focused on comedy. So what's your question?
So the scene where Saga comes out through the window, how do you get up that high?
Listen,
he's pretty high up.
That's your concern?
So no, what's so funny is I was in a fucking call, like a Discord call with people who are not reading the manga. I think it was a couple of friends who were playing Fortnite while I was waiting for my Fortnite to update, and I started having a moment looking at that panel. I was like, no, what? No, and I sent it to them. Again, didn't read Familiar Zero, and they're like, that doesn't make any sense. Also, the fact that like they couldn't tell where they were in, because like if you look at the church wall on the right hand side, it actually looks like a church wall exterior and not an interior. So my friends thought they were outside, but that's a separate issue. The reason it was so funny to me is because at the end of the fan translation we were reading, the translator addresses it. The translator is like, oh, I guess Saito can fly now because that window is at least 20 to 50 feet up in the
Is that what it said in your copies? God damn.
Yeah.
Also, the lack of glass around it. Like, there's just like a couple little tidbits.
Yeah, like how are you supposed to be able to tell other than context clues that he broke the glass?
God damn. Like I've been reading the official stuff from Amazon now that you like showed me that it was available digitally that you could buy on Amazon. So I didn't get any of these translator fucking notes, but that sounds fucking hilarious.
So on the online translation, every single chapter has like a panel with like a little goofy version done by the translator in it. So like at the end of one, there was an entire part where they had dramatized the banter between Fouquet and Wards. That was like kind of funny. But yeah, the translator pointed out that would have been nonsensical. I had to resort to the translation because I didn't get my physical copy in time.
Wow.
It is currently still sitting in the mailroom because I took a nap before stream instead of going to get it.
Fake fan. You'd already have it in your hand and have read it over again.
I'll wait till we get to it. Then I'll mention the fan serialization notes.
So, we had the whole fight happen. Saito cuts off his arm, and then Wards just leaves.
Shit.
He's like, well...
As you do. I mean, what else can you do, you know?
He's like, well, I don't have the letter. Didn't get Louise to fall in love with me.
Yeah.
I killed whales, so I did that. I was confused at the time, though. And I understand why later, but I was also at the time like, why did you need it to be a mission to kill whales? He's about to die in this battle that's about to happen. But I sort of understand it later on, where they bring in Cromwell. What's his full name?
I don't fucking know. I just refer to him.
I wrote down Oliver Cromwell. Guy shows up. He's basically the big bad in Reconquista. That's how you pronounce it, right? So he's like the commander-in-chief there. He was recently appointed. He's now the Emperor of Albion because fucking everybody else there died. So at the castle, at least. So now he's the Emperor of Albion. And he explains to Fouquet that he is a mage of the fifth element, the lost element, the void element, aka the zero element, which is necromancy, he reveals, where he just brings whales back to life, but now he's like his servant or whatever. So he's just like, oh yeah, this is where the Founder's Prayer Book is. I'm basically going to do whatever you want, Mr. Cromwell. And so he brings he brings whales back, but I don't know. Still, I think to myself, like, was it really crucial for Wards to absolutely make sure that whales died if they knew they were going to lose in the battle anyways? Was it just like a question
Okay,
like...
first we have to go find the body, which, you know, who knows? In the battle, who knows where it could be.
I guess.
I take a little bit extra time. Just come there, it takes a couple of seconds, all good.
I guess.
It was interesting to me that you guys had mentioned last stream, and this was something that I couldn't talk about because I knew that it was going to happen, but you guys didn't.
Yeah.
That you guys had talked about, like, oh, it's really weird that they mentioned Verdande in the chapter's last manga, and I was like banging my head against the wall, like, it's a Chekhov's gun moment, just hang in there.
No, I figured he would be coming back. My confusion was with the fact that we knew the place they were going to is in the sky, and like they had to airlift Verdande into the sky continent to have that Chekhov's gun moment happen. And I'm like, this is a lot of going out of the way for this thing you brought up to be a thing that happened, just for them to be like, okay, this is how we can escape. We'll just take this tunnel. But I don't know. I feel like
just
if
you don't understand the genius of eroge writers.
True. I'm sorry. Here I was thinking, hey, if you could fly a dragon, a fucking wind dragon, all the way to be able to drop off Verdande, maybe, just maybe, you could just fly that dragon to the church. I don't know. That's crazy logic.
I would like to posit that they were being encroached on all sides by an army. So it probably, especially like with archers, it probably would have been more dangerous for the dragon to try to do the overhead than for Verdande able to dig up from the bottom, where you would be able, there's no point to have an army there because who the fuck is going to be escaping through the bottom of a floating country?
Counterpoint, it would be more exciting for a story if you're having to do an escape instead of just like, all right, we're going to go now.
Chap, did you really want to see this artist
All right, listen. I
fair.
I understand. I was reminded again with this volume. Listen, I understand the artist is doing their best. They have their strengths when it comes to like. I feel like they are doing well for like the general style of how the characters should look for the comedic scenes, for the like the slice of life scenes that we get later on. They're not there yet for action.
I kind of like how they've chibified the characters in some of the shots. I think that was like creative and new, and I haven't seen that a whole lot because I think that's kind of been phased out.
Right.
As manga has like gotten more polished, quote unquote, lately.
Right. Like, I don't really want to shit on the action fights too much. Like, we can acknowledge that they're not as great as some of the other ones. I don't want to shit on it too much because this is, I think, like, this artist's first serialized manga, and I think it was, like, I think they only ever ended up doing, like, 2 or 3, ever. So, it's, you know, it's not like they had too much time to, like, grow or whatever, or gain that experience, I don't think. Also, based on their afterwards in this, I think especially in the volume 6 afterward, where they're explaining how they incorporated all the extra stories in at the end. They had to like cut around a lot of content and like change a lot of it specifically for like that extra content specifically. And I'm sure they were also struggling with that for some of these other ones to make it work for what they were told was needed for this adaptation. So yeah, it's you know, it's a whole thing where it's, I thought it would be more exciting, but I do agree with you where it probably wouldn't look very exciting. But, you know, I don't know. I think something would be better than, oh, Verdande showed up, even though we're, like, on a floating continent, and we're not immediately going to ask, how the fuck did you get here? I don't think they asked that immediately. I think they figured out later that they flew them there. But
you're being real fucking mean to Verdande, my guy.
Verdande's
what did he do?
He's a pervert, all right? He's a perverted fucking bull, all right?
You literally, okay, not to like pot calling the kettle black, but you literally like excused his actions last stream because he was like looking for the ruby in her coat.
Whoa. You're acting like I was defending him and not saying this is why the story is saying this is happening. Are you want to go back? You want to fucking go back to that and listen to how I was talking about that? You want to pretend like I wasn't saying this is the writer's obvious excuse for fan service? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't care. I'm just saying don't
I know you don't.
Slander Verdande.
That's fine. That's fine.
Also, wait, okay. So did you guys read like the weird like 4 chapters at the end?
Yes.
With like
the extra chapters, I read them.
Unfortunately, I did.
They weren't supposed to introduce Stefania yet. She's not there.
Do you realize that they're never going like
they're not going to. They said that those were being published when like season 3 of the anime was airing. So I don't think that like I don't know when these volumes so it seems like the chapters were serialized while season 1 was airing, but it didn't like release as physical volumes till later probably. Because you know those extras were made during season 3.
Stefania is introduced at the end of season 2. Season 3 is like her big arc season.
I see.
So if those were being released during that era of the anime, then it would make sense that she was there. It just felt like really weird. The way that I understood it was that the manga was being written during season 1 of the anime, which would make sense. So suddenly there's a fucking season 3 character in the bonus chapters, and I'm like,
yeah,
what?
It definitely felt weird where it's like suddenly, hey,
infinite experience.
It's not even like that character was like introduced in the middle of the extra chapter. It was like the first page of it, and you were just assumed to have known this character. And it's like,
exactly.
That would be great for existing fans who are keeping up with the anime and or the light novels. We're neither of those things. So also, did those have to be here and not in the final volume? I don't know why. I don't.
For shits and giggles.
It has to be something like they have a very specific plan for which chapters they wanted to cover in volume 7. And so to make room for that. But I feel like also there might be extra chapters in volume 7 as well. I don't know. I don't know. These chapters in volume 6 were like pretty fucking short. I was like, wait a minute, I'm on like chapter 31 and it looks like I have like half of the manga still left to read. And chapter 31 is where it's supposed to end. What's going on here? And then I turn and I'm like, okay, here's a bonus comic. Here's the afterword. Here's like 5 or 4 bonus like very fan servicey comics where the artist is just having fun with cosplay and the different characters and fully diving into the harem element of this series. I feel like we also sped run in that a couple of scenes I remembered from the anime, but like in very different contexts, like the love potion stuff that happened.
Was that in there? I read the first one and I didn't read the second one. I got busy. But okay, so the love potion one, and then was the cafe cosplay contest?
Yes.
With the tips. Okay.
Yes. So that was one comic. One comic was Louise was trying to make money for her and Saito to go on a date. So she works with Tiffania, I think, and I think Siesta maybe, to go and work at a cosplay cafe. At first they're just like groping her in the place and she's like, no, I'm not having that. I'm gonna basically do my like familiar master fucking dominance kind of roleplay with these fucking customers and treat them like the losers they are. And obviously they all had a kink for that, so they gave her even more money for that, and she got like the number one customer, or not customer, but the worker for that.
She won the tip contest.
Yeah, she won the tip contest for that. And then the next chapter was her going on the date with Saito, or trying to at least, and then several other people showed up in the middle of it.
Attempting and failing.
Naturally. It's a harem. What else do you expect?
And then at some point, it was like a sudden random comic where she's like, "Oh, I have to give out a be Saito's master for 1 day coupon to somebody, and you get to choose who gets it, Saito." And all of them are showing up in like these fucking outfits to try and convince him to choose them, including Louise. So everybody's trying to do that. Meanwhile, Siesta and Kirke both pull out at the same time love potions that they conveniently got at the same time and try to get Saito to drink it, only for Louise to take them, say, I'd never let him drink that, and she drinks those, both of them, starts immediately getting horny for all the girls, looks at Saito, says, gross, I only like girls. I was like, oh,
actually, that's funny.
She looks at him. She looks at him, and he's just like, oh my god, she's just drank 2 love potions. Now she's looking at me. Oh no, what's gonna happen? And then she's like, ew, gross. And then I think she starts groping like Tiffania or something nearby, and it's like, okay, what's happening?
So definitely prefer how the anime handled it. Yes,
I thought it was funny.
Prefer how the anime handled that, because that was, I think I mentioned it literally like in the first stream where I was like, dude, they took out the transvestite guy, because he was the one that ran the cafe,
right? Yep.
And it was just like another mission that Henrietta had given them, and then so I wasn't gonna bring this up, but the fact that chapter was in there tells me that they're probably not going to bring it up in the next volume.
Okay.
I liked how the anime did that love potion thing better, understandably. I'm assuming that probably what had happened was they were trying to cram a bunch of like the season 1 like content, some of the sub arcs into like the bonus chapters or whatever. So in the anime, what happens, it's actually kind of funny. Montmorency is the one that's trying to give Guiche the love potion.
Yep.
Because she wants Guiche to fall back in love with her. And I don't remember why, but Louise literally marches up, chugs back the thing of champagne with the love potion. And Montmorency is like, you did not just do that. So they have to go to the water sprite, because you need a tier of a water sprite in order to cure a love potion. And that's where they find out That
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is the tier cranberry flavor?
I don't know what this bit is. You just
But I'm
explained
gonna
that.
find out where you live. I will find out where you live, and I'm getting this directly on StreamVod. I will find you, and you will pay for that.
In a video game, in Minecraft, in GTA 5, in GTA 6, in all the games.
GTA 6. So they go to the water sprite, and again, I'm saying this on the assumption that they're probably not going to cover it in this final volume. But they go to the water sprite and find out that the fucking void ring has been stolen by.
Whoops.
Oh, but oops. So they just like overlooked this entire component of like. Again,
yeah, I remember the love potion thing in the anime starting an entire arc. It wasn't like a throwaway bit.
Yes. It was the arc where they find out that Cromwell stole the void ring from the water spirit. So then it introduces the thing where the water spirit is like, oh, I trust Gundalf to, follow through on his promises. So then it's another thing of like, oh, like, what's this Gundalf? Like, why is this related to me in some way? But like, that's just not there. Which means that the manga doesn't get an explanation on why Cromwell has that ring. Because if he was a real void mage, he would have a familiar. Think about that. But so they just like fucking overlook the fact that he stole the ring. Number one, they overlook the entire water sprite thing. Apparently, like Chap said, it's just like some throwaway gag, and it's like, no, that's not how it happened. And all of that was covered in season 1 too. So at that point, like, it's not an excuse like, oh, it would get covered. Like, if they were going to continue the manga, it would get covered in the future. No, that was done before the spoiler alert, the big fight that's going to go on in the next volume. That all happened first.
Oh, damn. Well, I understand your anger. Okay, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. They're cutting your content. They're giving you a very short straight line towards the end of season 1 of Familiar of Zero in the fastest way possible, it seems, because that seems like exactly where this will end. I can't imagine it doing much else.
Yeah.
So,
because also I think that fight was an entire episode.
What, the final fight you're talking about, or the
Yeah, the final fight.
So, all right, we had that whole the last arc end in like towards the beginning of volume 5, and then we're like going back to school, and Mon is fighting immediately with Louise, like, you were cheating on me with Guiche on your little mission, weren't you? And Guiche is like, they're like trying to say like, no, we just had a thing to do. We can't tell you what we were doing, but we had a thing. There were other people there. Meanwhile, Geisha is just like, yes, we went to Albion, girls. Yeah, that's it was a very sacred mission, to help the kingdom in this time of need. There's a civil war going on.
Oh, everyone with the earshot.
Mon is just like so jealous of Louise for going on this thing. Meanwhile, Geisha is literally flirting with several girls openly about the secret mission he's not supposed to be talking about.
Which again would make me think that maybe they're gonna do the love potion thing with like Mon wanting Geisha to fall in love with her, but no, they fuck it up.
Oh,
why would they do this?
I did think that, starting off the volume, or towards the next arc with Mon having an actual voice and doing stuff, I thought Mon was going to become a more important character, starting now towards the end for something.
Nah.
And then they were just like, I just want to bait Louise into blowing up the school. Which, by the way, the gag there was Louise is now slightly changed after the events, because she now accepts her feelings, to herself at least, that she has for Saito. So the morning starts where Saito's like preparing her outfit and like picking out her panties for her, and Louise is actually starting to get embarrassed and like, don't I can get them myself. She blows up the room randomly at him for that, even though it was like just what they did before.
Literally just trying to do his job.
He's just trying to do his job. He gets blown up. Then she gets baited in class, specifically after the teacher explains the concept he's just invented of an engine, then he doesn't realize it's an engine, through like fire magic that would it's just an engine from our world, and Saito recognizes immediately, and he starts nerding out with the teacher about the concept. Be like, oh, you like my invention? It's like, well, yeah, because I recognize it from my world or whatever. But I did think it was funny. He was explaining the concept, and literally everybody there was like, so what? Who fucking cares? That's not magic. That's just fucking weird science dumb shit. Okay, that's not magic. We're nobles. We do magic here. All right. But he's like, but if we,
that peasant shit.
but even commoners could use this. And they're like, that's the problem. And that's how it came off to me. But we can't have the commoners having access to this kind of technology. But yeah, so Louise gets baited into trying to start the engine, which causes her to fucking fireball the classroom. So that's another explosion. And then we have a third explosion that night when Louise says, Saito, you can sleep in the bed now. So he sleeps in the bed with her now. He falls asleep, and she gets like embarrassed / angry that he didn't try to make a move on her first. So she blows up the room again out of like embarrassment.
I gotta say though, Megumin fans have been real silent since.
So, so we had that gag where she ends up blowing the room or blowing up the school 3 times. How they have all the time to fix the stuff is
using only flex tape.
True. Well, they have.
Oh God.
They do. Listen, that must be
It even works underwater.
That must be that must be the actual power of void magic, right? That's the lost magic.
That's the flex.
Yeah, of course.
Also, I'm gonna point this out only because Oh wait. Never mind. The Founder's Prayer Book hasn't been mentioned yet. Okay, never mind that. What I do want to talk about is the fact that it kept mentioning that Professor Colbert's wizard name is the Flame Snake.
Yes.
It's not going to explain why that is.
Well,
which is like a major integral part of his character.
Have to?
I'm gonna make a wild guess here and say he's a fire mage with a snake familiar. I don't know if that's
No,
okay.
That's not it at all.
All right.
He committed war crimes.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, that happens. Listen, the Tristanian history books won't call them war crimes, I'm sure. So they'll say it was noble acts of a brave warrior or mage, whatever. Okay.
In season 2, fucking political war shit. There's 3 more seasons of this. Of course, there's going to be more war. A soldier from the Tristanian army comes to train this school of wizards on how to actually fight. Which is kind of funny because it means that Guiche has to use a sword, and he doesn't like that very much. But the character's name is Agnes, and Mr. Colbert just burned her village when she was a child.
Oh!
And, killed her family and all of her friends. So when she comes to the academy to be like, oh, hey, yeah, I've come to train all these people, she's like, I cannot be in the same room as the man that murdered my parents. Understandably. And I think it's literally, it's not that big a deal, but from a writer's perspective, I think it's worth mentioning.
It's not that big a deal.
It's funny though. It's funny. That's
it's
what
not
matters.
that big a deal in these first books where Agnes isn't introduced. But I think it's worth bringing up because if you remember, when they were in the carriage to go capture Fouquet the sculpture, Miss Longville had mentioned that Professor is it Osmond or Osborne? I think it's Osmond.
I think it's Osmond. Yeah.
Osborne is the Ruby headmaster. That's why I was getting that mixed up.
Sure.
Also the Spider-Man character.
Miss Longville had mentioned it's nice because he doesn't care about your history or your past. He just focuses on what you could be bringing to the table. And I think that it's really interesting in terms of Colbert's character because it meant that, Osmond would have been overlooking his fucking war crimes and still hired him as a professor to, a bunch of minor students. But whatever. Anyway, that's why he's called the Flame Snake, is because he used a flame snake to burn a village.
As you do.
As you do.
It happens. That doesn't matter. We're a harem rom-com now.
College student, okay?
We don't need any of that past, okay? We're in the rom-com harem stage, all right?
Oh.
So we need to immediately shift from politics and war and alliances to Louise getting embarrassed at Saito thinking about her getting dressed, and several situations where all the girls around Saito are trying to fuck him right next to Louise, and it's understandably making Louise upset, but it's making her like verbally and physically assault Saito over it, even though he's tried several times to explain that he is doing like whatever he can to tell them to fuck off, but she doesn't care. She's like, listen, I caught you with them several times.
Best
like
with the situation he's been given.
Like he's like he's there like, listen, I tried to set up a hot spring for you. It's a thing for my culture, okay? These other girls think I'm trying to be pervy and see you naked. I'm just trying to get you to stop being so fucking stressed out after all the shit that happened and this wedding that's going to happen that you have to like say like officiate or whatever at. I don't know. I don't understand what she's trying to write. It's part of the wedding ceremony, I guess. So he's like, I'm just trying to get you to, you know, chill after all the stuff that happens. Okay. He's trying. All right. And she's like, fuck all these women that are trying to go after you, and fuck you especially for falling for it. It's not even really like falling for it. He wants them to fuck off. But so he sets up the hot spring thing, which was very different than what I remembered it from the anime. Maybe I was just misremembering it from another scene. But he
yeah, originally you're not misremembering, because
Okay.
I had the same thought. Originally he had made the hot spring for himself.
Yeah.
And Siesta ended up dropping some tea and came to join him.
Yes.
And what I thought was interesting in terms of the fact that we switched so suddenly in the tone from the politics into like the rom-com harem is the fact that Siesta never had that personality, like at all in the anime. I mean, she did become a little more confident following like the confrontation with Saito and Gish, because of the fact that like all of the peasants had kind of been affected by Saito's behavior. But like in the anime, she never became like ballsy or like had the courage to do the stuff that she did in the manga. So for me, who like the Siesta I was accustomed to was the anime Siesta, it felt very weird and out of character for her to be doing like any of what she did in volume 6.
She was being super forward, and Saito even says so. He was like, you're being way more forward than I expected you to be, you know?
Yeah.
Because he's like, listen, I made this hot springs for Louise, and she's about to be here. And she's like, listen,
your ass not be here.
She's like, I don't care. I just want to do this. I don't mind getting naked in front of you or whatever. Like he's trying to say, like, I'm like a guy and Louise is coming. You should stop getting naked and get the fuck out. And she's like really, really pushing it. And then Kirke shows up with Tabitha, and they're all just ready to.
Tabitha is literally sitting there like, this is sexual harassment.
Yeah, there was an actual panel where she says that.
The entire volumes are sexual harassment. Like, it's not funny.
Like, but like, you know, it's a whole thing where like they're just I'm surprised we didn't actually get the weird scenes in the anime that happened where Kirke is just actively trying to fuck Saito in her bedroom, because I remember that was the whole thing, and I expected that to somehow at some point show up in this, and it didn't.
I did too. Like that felt very like the direction that the manga was going in terms of some of the other like motifs that we've been following, and then it didn't happen, and I was like, oh, okay, that was just an anime thing, which is interesting because the anime obviously understandably censored other things, such as Ward's arm getting cut off. Nah, that didn't happen in the anime.
What?
Whale's still.
Damn.
Yeah, Ward's. I don't think Ward's arm got cut off.
I wouldn't remember, but yeah.
He has both of them. They still killed Whales off, obviously, but it's definitely a really weird like dichotomy of what they did and didn't include in the anime. It's definitely something. Something.
With the Kirke thing, I was especially confused because he eventually gets fired by Louise after they like are yelling at each other about like how she like got upset over the misunderstanding with all the girls throwing themselves on him, just assuming that he was like going for it. And like I think she caught him on top of Siesta through like a freak accident where he tripped and fell over her or something like that.
Hold on. I have to mention the fan translation for this because at the end of the chapter they do this and I have to mention it.
Okay, what is it?
I signed in the anime book club.
Okay.
Oh, Saito, I told you that I don't want to play Twister on your master's bed. Saito freaking loves playing Twister. True story. Thank you, translator notes.
No, the translator notes were pretty good. I'm a little disappointed I didn't read them for the rest of the volumes because they've definitely been enjoyable. But yeah, that was funny.
But so like, Saito gets essentially
go one in like the previous volume. I still would find it.
Okay. So Saito gets like fired by Louise in like her fit of rage. Just wants him to like get out of her way for a while. And he's getting like he's in a tent outside, hanging with Geesh, getting drunk.
Getting shit-faced. That was another thing that was censored in the anime. That never happened.
Yeah.
He never drank in the anime. And I think he's done it twice. He did it once then and once at the party. And
Kirke shows up while they're drunk. I thought that was going to be like her being like, Saito, you can come stay in my room or whatever. She makes it, the next part of the story where she's like, we're going to turn you into a noble. I found these random treasure maps. I think they're trustworthy. Other people might look at them and say, what the fuck is all this? You probably got scammed. But don't worry about it. We're going to make you a noble by just following one of these treasure maps.
We're and find the One Piece.
It'll make you rich. And like one of them that they look at, Siesta's there with them as they're doing this. And they're like, so the dragon of something, Raymer or something like that. He's like, the dragon, this dragon artifact thing. And Siesta's like, oh, that thing? Yeah, that's at my house in my hometown. You want to go?
Literally in my backyard.
Like, we have it, but and then they go on a whole trip there together, the whole crew except Louise and Mon. All right, they all just leave and go on that. And then before Louise realizes what happened, she's like, where'd they all go? And Mon was just like, they fucking left. They're doing shit.
They fucking left, dude.
Like. Oh, and before they left, Kirke was fucking being like, Louise, you didn't do anything to let Saito know you like him now, or something like that, or something like to that effect.
Kirke's trying to wingman Louise. Louise is just not having it.
Well,
honestly.
I thought that at first, and then she just really shat on Louise at the end of that scene too. She's like, "You're being fucking useless. You're not doing anything. I'm gonna go hit on him instead. Fuck you." And then she drags him away on like this quest.
What I thought was funny about that is actually that is the exact reason Kirke ends up in Siesta's village. In the anime. In the anime, Saito and Siesta like go out to her village. I think there's a whole scene again that was not included in the manga about the fact that Siesta has like she looks like she has the Japanese heritage that Saito has. So at some point, like to that effect, like he's able to conclude that like that's where her grandfather was or something, or like the fact that he can read the gravestone or whatever. Where is I going with this? Oh, but in the anime, yeah, Kirke was just following a treasure map, like straight up, and they happened to run into each other
She was
in
trying
the
to
cave.
find the One Piece.
No, for real. Actually, no, I think she was with Mr. Colbert because Mr. Colbert was like, oh yeah, let's go follow this treasure map. Meanwhile, Siesta was like taking them directly to it. And then they all run into each other in the cave while they're looking for the robe of the dragon. So the treasure map's accurate at the very least.
True. That was the big question I had. Are these maps real?
Of course.
My question is, want to go find the One Piece? That's my question.
Well, they find it in Siesta. So Siesta is just from Japan. This is
no.
She's not.
Partially.
She's her like ancestors are from Japan, essentially from their grandfather's side.
Great-grandfather, whatever.
So okay, all right. So she's not directly Japanese. Her grandfather or great grandfather, whatever, is Japanese.
She's directly part Japanese.
Right. But yeah, we know this because like that plane it's a plane. The Dragon is a World War II like Zero fighter Japanese like fighter plane. It did not go unnoticed how it was exactly a Zero fighter plane in Zero's Familiar, the manga. It did not go unnoticed. So they find it and they're like, well, it's maybe valuable, but we don't have whatever powers it and we don't understand it. And he's like, oh, well, I know how this works. It's this thing called gasoline that it needs. They take it home. He explains it to Colbert and he's like, oh, I can figure out gasoline, no problem. There's a couple traces of it left here somehow over all the years. I can figure out how gasoline works, no problem. And then he like does it pretty quickly too.
I'm telling you, okay, Colbert's Walter White. He's
basically, yeah. Like
other than
we
the
have to
whole
cook.
like committing war crimes thing, Mr. Colbert really is the MVP.
Listen, Walter White definitely committed war crimes. I don't know if you realize this. I don't know if you've seen Breaking Bad. He makes this thing called ricin. I don't know if you've heard of it. Okay, so the fighter plane, he comes back with the fighter plane. Saito's attitude towards Louise and Louise's attitude towards Saito at first, that exchange, I was like, damn, we're actually like being fucking real with each other. Saito's done with her shit, and Louise is like quasi saying I feel bad about what I did at first, and then like realizing, okay, I actually have to admit I felt bad about what I did, even though I am still mad at how you were behaving or are behaving now. Saito's just like, listen, okay, I'm done with your shit. I have this plane here. I'm trying to fix it so I can potentially go home. And that
literally leave your ass.
Yeah, she's like they make up, I think, in that initial scene for the most part, but afterwards it's all just like, why are you paying so much attention to that fucking bomber plane? Who cares about this plane? Get down from there. I didn't give you permission to work in this plane. It's like, listen. I understand you don't actually want it to leave, but you're being a little weird about it. Being a little weird with how you're behaving
Being
about
a
it.
little tsundere with how you're dealing with it.
Oh my god.
Sus.
So it's like Saito's just like ignoring her in a lot of the conversation. Like as soon as he shows back up and he's talking with Colbert about it, Louise is just like, hey, stop ignoring me, because they're like literally just talking to themselves about like gasoline and airplanes and how it's
Didn't
gonna
they
work.
at one point say like, oh, Louise, when did you get here?
Oh yeah. Oh, how long you been here? Have you been skipping class? I think she tries to blow them up or something like that too.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't be surprised.
But and then I think it's like a lot of like her at least connecting with him by trying to like read through what she prepared for the wedding. In terms of like she's supposed to talk about the different elements in like a poetic way for the marriage that's about to happen with Henrietta and the Germanian prince.
Who we still haven't met yet, by
Right.
the way. We don't know who he is. He
Would
doesn't
he-
even have a name.
Would he be related to Kirke or?
I don't think so. I think Kirke was just like a member of like noble
Family, but not like
royalty.
the noble. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, so we had that all happen where we established, okay, here's an airplane. This great-great-grandfather was from Japan, somehow got here, was flying around trying to find a way out. I have a plane now. We're going to get it to work. He can understand.
Plane has been added to your inventory.
Yeah, pretty much. And he can understand how it works with the abilities that he now has in this world too. It gives him like a full understanding of like the weapons he's using, and a fighter plane is in fact a weapon, so it does work. So he can fully understand how the plane works just by sitting in the cockpit pretty much. But they
Cock.
wow, very hilarious. But
I love this.
But like having the plane doesn't necessarily mean they'll be able to go home yet. He still has to figure out like, because even the guy before didn't really know where to go to leave. So he said he was going to try flying east to try to find a way out, because he said the guy was from the east or something like that. So Saito's just gonna see what happens.
He's fucking winging it.
Meanwhile, Louise is really trying to be like, but maybe you shouldn't go, I mean, just what if, without like just directly outright saying, please don't go. She's like, well, you know, just saying, what if I told you not to go? Would you listen? You know, I'm just saying.
She's a tsundere. She's incapable of communicating. You can't expect too much from her.
Listen, at least it's progress from what she was doing before he left the village to go find the dragon, okay? Because she was just like, fuck you, I don't want to deal with this shit. All these misunderstandings you keep trying to explain to me is just you lying. So despite everything that you did for me prior, so I'm just going to explode you like 3 times, or 2 times, I guess. But, you know, so we had those.
He's a light novel protagonist and needs everything spelled out for him, letter for letter.
I mean, yeah, that's just how it goes with harem protagonists, especially.
You know, I'm
okay?
sort of a light novel protagonist myself.
Damn.
I mean, you know, Chap, you've been with me for how long?
There is still a politics like background thing happening, or like the big bad, I guess, where Cromwell and this pilot guy who doesn't seem like he is actually on board with what's going on. I don't know what that deal is. Boomwood or something like that. I don't remember what his name was.
Something like that.
But
that's a new character to me.
Yeah, so he's like, Cromwell's basically like, you know, getting him to pilot the big ship that they have, the Royal Sovereign or something like that ship, and they're planning to do something with that ship during the wedding. They said the wedding's gonna like go off with a bang or something, or the cannon fire for it's gonna be a bang. Obviously, it's probably gonna be they're gonna start blasting at the wedding. And
so then I started blasting.
You know, and I mean,
blast.
Somebody at some point down the line made sure that Louise was going to be at the wedding, so that's how we know that you know that's where we're going next with the story. And maybe whoever set that up is in on whatever the plan is. I don't know.
Damn, you really don't like Henrietta. What the fuck?
Is Henrietta the one who planned that? Listen, like I told you before, I suspect her. Tiny bit. I don't know.
Yeah,
because I don't like any of
them. Damn.
Because she was the one, or what Osmond said was that she was the one that had requested Louise, her childhood friend, be the one to officiate the wedding. So it was at Henrietta's request that Louise is doing this speech thing. Hold on.
Okay, bless you. I'm assuming.
Hey,
oh, damn, bless you.
So yes, Henrietta is the one that set up Louise being there.
All right, so Henrietta is the next traitor. I understand.
Fucking what? Damn.
Listen, I'm just saying.
A traitor.
Every,
no one can be trusted.
You know, every arc so far of like the real story of what's going on has been this person turned out to be a traitor. This person turned out to be a traitor. I don't know. You know, I mean, it's just a common theme. I don't know.
Maybe the next arc is just like the Shide and Tokoyo arc, where you just get cool fight scenes with airplanes. Did you ever think of that?
Is that why the airplane's there? They're gonna be fighting on top of the fucking World War II airplane with like shadow people, and they have to make a hacking bullet through magic to shoot the big bad.
Yeah. They have to make the Fifth Element void bullet.
I see. I understand.
The big bad.
I understand. Listen, will the action at least look as good as it did in that manga?
So far, my confidence is not high.
Okay, so we're not at summertime rendering tier art. I understand. Listen, it's hard to reach that level. Okay, I won't lie. So,
summertime rendering looked sick as fuck.
Especially in the action stuff, it was like really good at that. But yeah, so we had a lot more harem comedy stuff. We had the extra chapters, which we already talked about. I think pretty much we talked about like everything we needed.
We don't have
to
talk
extra
about
chapters.
them more.
It's almost over, Ari. We only have one more volume.
Ari, what did you think of these 2 volumes? I want to hear your thoughts.
It was a clusterfuck. If I can curse.
In what way? You may curse. In fact, we encourage it here, especially for this podcast.
Can I say one F-bomb, please?
You may. Only one. The ratings board will be upset.
Very much.
Yep.
Oh well, I can get over it. I mean, we're talking about familiars. They're already upset. It's
Damn.
just, It's just like I thought. I mean, I didn't like the plot very much before it decided to just like retrograde back into a harem. Like it's like it started off as like we're not like you think we're a harem, but we're not actually. This is just kind of like a
Oh, no, we
mild
are now.
this is like a fantasy thing, but there's like it's a pseudo harem, not actually. He's really just into this one girl, and it's an isekai, but he doesn't really care to go home. He like mentions it once or twice as an offhand comment, and then it's like they get to an end of a season, in quotation marks, obviously, because I've never seen anything else for this.
Yep.
And then they just decide, okay, well, this manga isn't gonna go much further, so we're just gonna devolve
Cut it
into
out.
an actual harem. And we're just gonna do like all of this really stupid fan service because that's the only people who are reading this anymore. Anybody else is like watching the anime or something. They're not actually consuming this manga. So we'll just, devolve to other stuff. Oh, but maybe we'll finish the plot.
Maybe. That's a strong maybe.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Maybe later.
We just might not have time for that bullshit, okay? Like, I do want to say, we know the next volume is supposed to have some kind of, like, seasonal conclusion kind of vibe to it. Because it pretty much feels like it's supposed to be at the end of the first season or whatever. But we also know, at least at this time, there are, like, at least 3 other seasons of the show. So, he's not...
seasons of the show, very obviously a character that they know of, but isn't going to be introduced. Because Tefania, like...
Yeah. I like that stuff. I'm just like, bonus meme for the fan service comics, whatever. They can do whatever they want, I guess, with that. But I'm just looking at it like, okay, so retrospectively, I'm already spoiled by the fact that I know that there's 3 other seasons, so he's not going home in the next volume. So
I mean, unless he is.
Unless that would be, I think that would be, I think that would be interesting if the manga original ending. The manga original ending being he actually just goes home, says "fuck you, Louise," and leaves.
No, I would like that. I seriously doubt that's going to be the case, but I think that
Might be funny.
I would definitely like it if that's what they did.
He realizes the errors of his ways of stumbling into a harem rom-com and just decides to leave. That'd be base.
He fucking books it.
I mean, he is getting, in the chapters, he's at this attitude like, listen, I can't have you all just being horny around me right now. I'm trying to help Louise calm down. And then Louise beats the shit out of him and yells at him over that. He's like, all right, well, I can't deal with that either. I'm fucking going home.
Leaving.
Find One Piece, baby.
I mean, I'm just looking at volumes 5 and 6, and I'm like, okay, I understand we had to end the last arc at the first part of volume 5. I think my problem is just overall, I think it can be interesting what some of the politics is trying to do, and I think it can be fun with the like slice of life, like magic school rom-com stuff it's got going on, even the harem stuff. The problem is it's trying to mix both, and it feels awkward to me in many cases.
Pick one.
Like
Pick
fucking.
because you're not good at either.
Damn.
Brutal.
Listen, all I know is the artist was at least made some like funny panel like reaction faces in the slice of life comedy stuff. I don't know. Like I said, I thought like Saito was a lot funnier in the comedy bits in this section, whereas before it was just him being like, "Huh, what's going on? Man, I'm almost treated like a dog. Oh man, I'm such a fucking loser. I can't protect Louise." I don't know. I don't know. Durfling got to actually like talk a bit more, and he got to explain some of this stuff. He got to explain more about like, how like, well, I don't really remember this stuff, but I guess I can figure it out if you discover parts of it over time. Durfling was cool. I wanted more stuff with him, especially during some of the comedy scenes. He's just like shut the fuck up in all the scenes unless they're like those like important plot things later on. To like be like, man, partner, you got rejected again, didn't you? And it's like, oh, okay. Durfling's always there to be like, you fumbled the bag again, huh? You fucked up again.
Your finger's there to be like, man, you're pathetic.
Have you tried just
You're goofing up again.
Have you tried just protecting the woman you love, buddy? Huh? You tried just doing that?
Have you tried just like trying hard?
5,000 on the
Do
title.
better.
Come on.
Yeah. So, what else do we have? Does anybody else have anything they really want to bring up?
I found
No.
the bonus
Damn.
meme stuff for the translation.
Bonus meme? Or what's your bonus memes? Which ones?
The
Okay, hold on. Let me set it up, share my screen. Okay, here we go. Haha, I shall kidnap you and make you my waifu. Haha, prepare to be kidnapped. Huh? I'm too Lolito to... Lolly to be a waifu. I see. Translator Dusk. Thank you, Dusk. And then this next one is, I require freshly cooked breakfast Saito. Everything has to be fresh. Oh, and bacon too. Bacon.
And bacon too.
Oh, and then there's Pig Warriors. I see.
And then I remember that one.
Based. What else we got? We got any other memes?
Nah.
Trying to think. Let me check my notes here real quick. Yep, I talked about that. Yeah, the Founder's Prayer Book seems like that's going to be the next MacGuffin of some sort. For whatever reason. So am I understanding this right? Is Louise writing what she's supposed to say in the Founder's Prayer Book, or is this just like something she was also given?
I think that she's writing it in there. I'm not 100% sure because in the scenes where she was supposed to be, there was no writing in the book.
Because she's like, I don't know what to write.
She was literally, I shit you not, she was reading from a blank book.
Damn. She sucks at her. She's not doing very well with her NaNoWriMo progress.
Oh god. So yeah, I know what the Founder's Prayer Book is for, but I don't know what's going on there.
Right.
But yeah, I guess she's supposed to be writing like her speech in the Founder's Prayer Book. Or like the whole thing was that it was empty or something because like there's nothing in it. I don't fucking know.
It's actually just
honestly,
it's actually just a spiral notebook from another world. We just don't even know what it is.
funny.
Okay, also, Saito's eye glowing red at the beginning. Will that ever come back?
I don't know, because that was not in the anime.
I was just like,
so...
what is... I was like, I don't remember this at all. We just gave him heterochromia for like the 2 colored pages that we get at the beginning of the volume. And then...
Yes, yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I know what's going on with Louise now. And then he crashes through the window. I will save you.
And then we window that's like 20 feet up.
And then we get the scene that's literally, if you search on YouTube, most cliche anime scene. That scene's what comes up.
Oh, I was gonna say, in my defense of all of the weird, Ari knew that I was talking to her.
We're listening.
In my defense, I really only remembered the political stuff of this anime.
Again, we can find you we can find you good political anime.
Okay.
Doesn't even have to be something like Code Geass. There's a ton of political anime.
I can even find you.
I was about to make me watch Fate.
Yeah.
What's the Galactic Heroes?
Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Listen, Anne's not interested unless it also has fan service scenes in a couple places. Okay, we need that.
True.
You can't have. I mean, listen, I've only seen a couple episodes of Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I don't remember if there's fan scenes of the dudes in that, so I don't. Just like 200 episodes, so I'm sure the fandom has come up with some of it, but I don't. I know they dab for Gundam and all those characters in that, so.
What we're saying is we can find you actually good political anime, so if that's all you remember, we can get you better.
I remember two major plot points.
Oh,
I remember the plot point at the end of season 2, and I remember the major, like, That's a lie. I remember 3. I remember something that happened like way later in season 3. No, I remember the fucking ending of the anime because it was so stupid. It felt like getting to the end of a season of Supernatural and realizing that like the big bad, like it. Don't worry. I'll talk about it next stream and like how bad it was. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that the manga didn't go that far, unless it was going to change the outcome of the anime. Because honestly, God, the ending of the anime was so fucking stupid. The only good thing was that they introduced a new set of villains in season 4 that were actually fun. By the way, fucking Tabitha's dragon. That's a girl.
Okay.
That's just a lady.
Is this an important plot point later?
Nope.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. Well, thanks, Grandma.
Andy has learned what a fun fact is.
No, I'm annoyed by it. That's why I mentioned
Oh.
it. No,
Oh, okay.
Why? What's
everything-
annoying about it?
Old man yells at clouds. Damn you, familiar Zero manga.
I just feel like everything past the ending of season 2 was bad, which is unfortunate because that's when we actually get into the idea of the Holy Land, because we get introduced to the elves, and that's when but it's all bad. It's all bad. The only seasons that are good are season 1 and 2.
What I'm hearing is that any anime that doesn't start off with elves, that has an elf arc, is bad.
And
Yeah.
That's why Mega Man has no
See-
elves.
That's why No Game No Life was bad, because they introduced elves too late.
Damn.
No, there were
Damn,
other reasons
true.
No Game No Life was bad.
Listen, No Game No Life was something. Okay, we can say
No
that
Game No
at
Life
least.
was definitely something.
It was my first anime, so you know.
What an interesting introduction. Anne, have you ever seen Soul Eater? I feel like you might enjoy that.
No. I have
You ever
not
seen
seen-
Morbius?
Ari's laughing like it's an insult.
I'm laughing because I know you're saying that for the fan service.
Well, I'm saying it for that, and also, you know, each character has like sort of a familiar that's like their weapon of a person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about all I know about Soul Eater, and honestly, it seems like a really cool gimmick. Like, I've used that for my own characters before.
And it's like a
Hey,
pretty
it is
shonen
cool.
shonen too.
Soul Eater is cool, except for the egregious early 2000 fan service.
Fan
Listen,
service.
the negative
yeah.
points for
And
Ari are
the-
positives for you, all right? So-
Yeah. And the lackluster ending that just kind of stops.
Oh yeah, I didn't actually finish
Oh.
the first season of Soul Eater, so I don't actually. The only season, I guess, right? Because there's just that, and then
The-
Soul Eater not. So
The interpersonal ending of Familiar of Zero is fine. It's really like the big, like, the reason Saito was summoned is revealed in season 4, and it's just like not good.
It was to be her husband, wasn't it? Right?
I mean, I can tell you the actual reason. If
Tell
you
us
ca-
next week.
Okay.
Just in case it's a spoiler.
yeah, we don't know
Okay,
what the
yeah.
fuck the manga's gonna do to end at this point.
Yeah, because we have no clue how the manga's gonna end.
I don't know
Yeah.
if this is gonna be like
6 chapters left?
yeah.
5?
Well, yeah, I also don't know if maybe there's gonna be more bonus chapters at the end of like bonus comics like this one
that
too.
kind of go over more.
Here,
Okay, that's
here,
fair.
I don't know if they'll
check,
necessarily go
actually.
over things or if it'll be more like fan
We'll
service
find
stuff.
out
I
next
don't know.
week, Shadow.
What'd you say, Shadow?
I check
Next
if
week
there-
on
if there-
Dragon
if there
Ball
is-
Z.
If there is bonus or not.
Okay, we'll figure it out. We don't
We'll
have
find
to
it
check
out.
now, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, I understand. So, anybody else have anything else they want to bring up?
My comparisons from Friesman to Walter White make a little more sense now after today.
Friesman? Which one was Friesman?
I keep calling Walter White. That's the bit.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
It's
the
in the
flame
thumbnail I made.
dude?
What's this sound? Oh, okay.
This is a preview button, you know, the on the left.
Do I look like I give a shit?
I'm just saying, there's some sketchy
think
soundboards in
we're
some fucking
done
servers,
here.
all right?
Oh.
All right.
I think
So-
we're done here.
So, if anybody else has anything else to say about volumes 5 and 6, speak now. Forever hold your peace. If anybody has any predictions they want to ramble about, speak now. Forever hold your peace.
I predict it will be underwhelming.
Oh yeah.
What?
I know it'll be underwhelming unless
Damn.
they do the ending that I want,
Un-
which they won't.
underwhelming, gang.
I want
Underwhelming, gang.
Saito to just go home. Just
I
fly
think-
that plane and
I think-
That's what I want too.
I think that would be hilarious. Just like,
I
all
think
right,
that would be
fuck
the
this series.
best option. Fuck this,
Honestly,
fuck
though, they
you.
could like do that, but then like he finds out, oh no, Louise snuck on board.
Oh.
I can see them doing that, maybe.
And that's
but-
where that spin-off manga series continues. Actually, it's just her in the real world.
Oh, it's
Okay.
reverse Isekai now.
Yeah, it's basically like Devils a Part-Timer. They go work at McDonald's. So, all right. That was Familiar of Zero Volumes 5 and 6. Wow. We are one volume away from finishing it. Can you believe it, guys? Wow.
No.
Just a week away.
Wow, just a
One
week
volume
away.
Wow. Familiar of Zero ending. Just a week away.
Just
Alright.
a week away.
Thank God.
We'll be reading Volume 7, and we will also we'll be discussing the end of the volume, end of the story, and our overall thoughts of the series. And then we will also be hosting the quiz. If you were not around for the last quiz, it is a fun time. I come up with questions, I ask you them, you answer me in DMs, and then I give you points based on how well you do, or if you do anything at all. Sometimes you fuckers send me random images as answers, or say fuck you to me. And honestly, I should start deducting points for that. But, you know, I think it's funny. So maybe if you make me laugh, I won't do it. So I don't know. It depends. Maybe. I don't know. So better study up on your Familiar of Zero lore. All right. Better be ready to go for your favorite manga series of all time. All of you. You all love Zero's Familiar. Not Familiar of Zero. Zero's Familiar. Right? So
No, just a week away.
just a week away. And we'll do that. And then the week after is Thanksgiving, so we won't be doing a show. And then I'll explain to you guys what the next plan is in between, probably. So we will be meeting next week at the same time on Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Everybody watching, keep in mind the time zone change, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Eastern time. So whatever it is in my time zone, the important time zone, because I live there. And you don't,
Disgusting.
probably. So
My time zone is the best one because we don't have daylight savings time.
you actually
Yeah,
like got an
that's
extra
true.
hour for this, so like that's actually pretty good for you in terms of like the stream for now, at least. When the time change goes the other way,
Yeah. Just means I get more sleep before I stream. I took off my second shift, so I have an entire chunk between like 2 and 6 now to do fuck all.
yeah. Because if anybody watching this doesn't know this, or we haven't explained this, Anne's area does not observe daylight savings time, so we moved.
Daylight savings time.
We moved back an hour. They didn't move, so now it's like later for them than it usually is. So. But it's only, what is it? It's only, they only don't observe daylight saving times where you're at, but there's some like Native American like areas there where they do or something like that.
So I live in Arizona, and a lot of Arizona is devoted to native reservations. The problem is that one of the reservations, the Navajo Nation, is technically under federal jurisdiction, not state jurisdiction. So the Navajo Nation observes daylight savings time because that's like what the federal government says that they have to do. Within the Navajo Nation is the Hopi Reservation, and the Hopi Reservation are not under federal jurisdiction, they're under state jurisdiction. So there is
Base.
a pocket where the Hopi Reservation is that does not observe daylight savings time. Within the Navajo Nation that does observe daylight savings time, within Arizona that doesn't observe daylight savings time. And
Based.
Arizona is the only state in the Mountain Standard Time Zone that doesn't observe daylight savings time. So if you look up, if you say,
This
oh yeah,
country
I'm on
is
Mountain
fucked.
Time, and you look up Mountain Time, what you're gonna get is Mountain Daylight Time, which is what like all of the other fucking states are. During daylight savings time, I have to say that I'm on Pacific Time because I'm on the same time zone as California.
Oh, I'm on Pacific time. Oh, did you move?
No,
No.
no, time did, but I didn't.
I
Wow.
live in hell.
Listen, time is a thing. All I know is You're not in Eastern time, the best time. So it's just an L.
I don't know.
Sorry.
They don't have daylight saving time, so I kind of think that might be better.
No, you're just afraid of change. I don't know what to tell you.
I am afraid of change. This is true. This is why I want to read the mangas I've already read.
There it is.
Wow. All right. Well, that was all for this week, and we will see everybody next week. Same time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be reading Volume 7 of Zero's Familiar, and then doing the quiz show. We're going to read it, talk about it, and do the quiz show. So make sure you read your chapters. There's only like fucking 5 of them, I think, so good luck with that. And I will see you all next week. Bye, stream. Bye, stream.